with Kelly and Barbara. It is the first official sort of main weekday after phase 2 has been introduced, and guys, y'all went crazy over the weekend. IKEA lines were mad, Orchard was rammed.
It was absolutely mental. So let's just take it in that we still need to be vigilant and just make sure that we do stay at home. I know that for a lot of us, we've been a bit nervous about leaving the house as well.
That would be you.
Yeah, so we've been staying home, aside from coming out to work, for the better part of 2 or 3 months, and going out was just a bit like, so I had my alcohol wipes, I had Dettol wipes, I had my own cutlery, and then I went out and I felt a little bit better.
You brought your own cutlery.
Well, you never know.
Right.
But then I got some weird looks and I put them back in my bag.
Good job.
And I just alcohol wiped the cutlery at the places we were at. Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, it's your Monday edition of Kickback with Kelly and Barbara, and today on the show we've got a little bit of a discussion going on. Obviously, last week everyone was up in arms over this, are you an essential worker or a non-essential worker? But we're going to rein it back a little bit, because obviously we don't really know exactly what type of artist is deemed completely non-essential, and a lot of people took offense at it. But what we realized was it was only 1,000 people that took this poll, and a lot of them didn't actually know what they were going in for. So what we've decided to do is have a conversation today around stable jobs and jobs that will last and go through a crisis versus following a job of passion, which may end up with you being unemployed in a time such as this. And to do so, we've got some incredible guests who are joining us on the show today. Who are they, Barbara?
That's right. We've got Steve Lai coming on. He is not only a newscaster for CNA, but he's also a dad of 2 girls. And we just wanted to get the aspect of a parent. And, you know, do you want your kids to follow their passion at this point in time, given how uncertain things are at the moment, or would you want them to have that stable future?
That's right.
And we've also got our first guest, who we are both very familiar with.
Yes, she was our lecturer when we were studying at Temasek Polytechnic, Mrs. Felicia Nah, who is a senior lecturer at Temasek Poly's Communications and Media Management Diploma. Barbara, why don't you scoot on over and let's get Felicia over here and joining us.
Come on in.
Mrs. Nah to
She's
us.
asked us to call her Felicia, but we physically cannot.
Are you all right there?
Yes.
All right.
She's just perched on her little stool.
Got my little stool going
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm great. And now that I've seen the 2 of you, I'm even better.
Oh, it's just all the love right there. Yeah. What's up? I do apologize for the entrance graphic, because clearly I'm not an illustrator, but it just proves that we do need different people in different industries.
Exactly.
I can't do someone else's job.
And an artist who is in front of the camera is not necessarily an artist who is an illustrator, as Barbara's graphic has proven. But Felicia, tell us a little bit about how education, you guys have had it a little bit rough over the past few months. How has it been?
Yeah, we have. We have had to switch to home learning, which is not exactly bad. And we've always talked about it. We knew we could do it, but we didn't actually have to do it. But this has forced us to do so. And we have been forced, the staff have been forced to learn how to do it online, everything online. So we've had to hold classes online. Lectures can be recorded, but tutorials, you know, you still have to be kind of looking at your students. Make sure their cameras are on, their microphones are on. Check for attention.
I was going to say, that's probably the biggest thing.
It is to keep their attention nowadays.
Yeah, that's right. And engagement.
Yeah. So speaking of engagement, how do you make sure that you're keeping them engaged? I mean, our course was just so interactive in the classroom.
Well, we make sure that there's a variety of learning techniques. You know, you've got videos, you've got games that you can play online, and that gets them engaged as long as you meet your lesson objectives as well. So that's one sure way of getting them engaged. Kids love Kahoot. For some reason. Kahoot is a software where you run, it's an educational technology where you run quizzes and they play against each other.
Wow, we did not have that. Yeah.
Competition. Everyone loves a good competition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's okay. Some people like competition more than others, clearly.
Because I always lose.
Okay. Yeah. So, but our course was one that was very, very interactive, and it even the lectures, it was never just a one-way, I'm talking at you. It was always a conversation.
Yeah.
So how did you get over that?
For lectures, I have videos embedded in them. I also ask questions and I make them ponder. And I say, you know, we'll be discussing that in the tutorial next. So you've got to think about it. So you've got to plant things that will make them think. And young people love to think. They have lots of ideas. They're very creative, but you just need to plant the seed for them. So that is the difference in the way I do my lectures online.
Now, you guys have also just released a new batch of students, a new batch of graduates into the industry, right?
We did.
And considering that the events industry is dead, a lot of industries are dead, to be honest. The sports industry is gone, the MCs, the events crews, basically a lot of people that you guys groom to send out throughout mass communications and communications and media management. That entire industry suddenly doesn't really exist for your graduates. What sort of advice have you been giving to them on what they can do and how are they going to approach it?
I think they are equipped with the skills that are actually transferable. The skills are not specific in that, oh, I can only do this.
Yeah.
Those skills are transferable, they are soft skills, and they can go on and do any job that comes to them. And in this technology, it's a very gig technology, rather a gig term, where everyone just does things on a freelance basis. To this end, I know the graduates are having fresh graduates are having trouble looking for jobs, full-time jobs. But maybe, hey, maybe this is an era where we don't work full-time jobs as much anymore. It's more, I got a gig for 3 months, for 6 months, and that's good.
Here's me just trying to really take on this advice. We asked this question because I want the advice.
I mean, in TP, in Temasek Poly, we've got the Kickstarter program as well, where we help graduates upskill, because we've got not just graduates which just came out this year, we've got graduates from 2 years ago who have just finished NS.
That's true.
Yeah, so they might need a kickstart as well. So we've got upskill programs. We've got programs to help them look for jobs now in terms of putting them in touch with our industry partners, because we've built up great industry links as well, TP as a whole. And we also have, in TP itself, we are asking graduates, hey, you know what, to help you tide over, you can take on maybe a temp job with us for 3 to 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've got that going as well.
Barbara's like, I'll take a job. Alrighty, Felicia, we're going to take a short break, but when we return, we're actually going to bring on a parent who is going to give us the other opinion to see how they're going to be guiding his sons, his daughters, sons and daughters. That's what we're looking at, the next generation, to see what sort of advice we're going to be giving them, to whether they should be following their passions or whether they should be looking for a stable job. Don't go anywhere. This is Kickback with Kelly and Barbara. Kickback with Kelly and Barbara. Barbara's popped off for a little while because we've brought on Steve Lai, newscaster for Channel News Asia and father of two really, really beautiful and intelligent girls, I might add.
Thank you. On their behalf.
On which
thank you.
Yeah. All right. So we're still discussing whether we should be following our passions in what could be a non-essential job, or whether, as a parent, we should be guiding our children towards maybe a more stable job, which in tough times like these would still have work, I suppose. So when the whole article came out from the Straits Times talking about essential versus non-essential jobs, Steve, what was your initial reaction?
My first initial reaction was that, well, it needed an artist to actually put that article together and display it in a graphic that was easy for everyone to understand. So I thought that was quite interesting. But, you know, as you mentioned earlier, the sample size and, you know, how narrowly or broadly the definitions were, we don't know. Well, we know the sample size, but we don't know how broadly it was defined. But it's a tricky time, right? We're finding so many industries, tourism, hospitality, jobs being lost left, right, and center. The push towards automation and AI has sort of gone full steam ahead because people can't be working. And a lot of people working from home as well. So it's a real shake-up. But you can understand why people were a bit upset or sensitive about it, because no one likes to be thought of as non-essential.
It's like, I'm not necessary. It's okay. You don't need me. I'll just go sit in a corner and cry.
Yeah, but some of the other categories as well, some of the other, you know, professions that were listed in that, you know, HR managers, consultants, PR, and that sort of thing. I guess it's unfortunate that it rubs so many people the wrong way. You know, it's a time when we're all kind of trying to pull together and see what we can do to help each other. But, you know, you're talking today about how we can think for the future and for our kids as well. And it's going to be a tough one because it's very hard to predict what jobs are going to be around. We've heard, you know, various different ministers say certain industries are going to be changing forever, the way they do things. So how do we prepare our young ones? And it's kind of more about how they are and their attitude towards work and you know, different might take on, rather than a specific, I'm learning this in school to be that when I graduate. I mean, that wasn't the case for me when I grew up. I did a business degree, although I wanted to do sports science and filmmaking.
And why didn't you?
Very pragmatic parents. I had one shot at university, and they said, if you want to have a job when you come out of that, then you need to make a choice. So that was the choice I made. But along the way, I had multiple jobs. I opened doors at a hotel. I worked as a waiter at uni. Even cleaned hotel rooms at one point.
Wow.
You know, I worked in a garage equipment company for a while. You know, your whole life it's a marathon, right? You do a lot of different things and you pick up skills along the way. So focusing too much on what can I study in school to get me a job at the end of it, I kind of think you need to be thinking, what skills can I get as a person? Do I work hard? Do I turn up on time? Am I easy to work with? Can I communicate well?
I think as a lecturer, Felicia's going, yes, these are all very important things.
And these are the things that will stand you in good stead, whatever it is you're doing.
So then with your students, for example, I mean, you've also got two girls who have also just freshly graduated.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, so how's that been for them? Did they manage to secure jobs? Are they okay?
Well, one of them is still doing her master's in linguistics. The other one is a lit major. So she's currently working for a local media agency. She's writing news bulletins. So she does, and that's on a freelance basis. It's not a full-time job. I've never pushed them to do anything like I want them to do. Actually, I don't even know what I want them to do. For me, it's all about your passion. What do you want to do? What makes you happy? What do you think you're comfortable doing?
But as a parent, don't you worry that they're not going to make money? That they're not going to have that sort of stability? Because especially in a freelance industry, there is no guarantee that in 6 months when your contract runs out, that you're be able to find something else. And sort of, Steve, with your girls being younger, do you not worry about them potentially going into that? I mean, as someone who has transitioned and found a job in the media after a while as well.
Yeah, I did. But it's about choice and consequence, right? And what can you live with? I mean, if you want to pursue your passions in the arts or whatever it happens to be, then you have to accept that, you know, when times are tough and budgets get cut from corporate gigs or from whatever, then you are going to take a hit on that. But are you in it for the money, or are you in it because you love what you do? And if you can make that choice and live with it, then I guess you're kind of okay. Ultimately, as a parent, though, you really want your kids to be able to put food on the table and have a roof over their heads, and that's always going to be a concern, which is the concern my parents put on me, which has informed the choices that I made. But do I have regrets that I didn't follow my passions? For sure, but you know, life goes on. You make the best of what you can, and you know, you end up where you end up. Like I ended up reading the news. It wasn't part of the plan by any means.
What about you, Felicia?
In terms of myself, my father wanted me to go into business. He wanted me to do business studies, but I never really had any interest.
That was a bit like my reaction to business, studying business as well.
Yeah.
But it's a very broad degree.
Yeah.
Right?
So I just went into social sciences and the arts, arts and social sciences instead. And I found that more to my liking, and I was able to, secure a job, which I could, which I think I can do.
So then, Temasek Poly has always been very, very good at predicting the future and creating courses which will enable their students and future graduates to say, okay, like where do we see the need in 10 years time, and can we create a course for these? Where do you think it's going to go? Like, do you think that there's going to be more of a demand for students to take up courses which will enable them to go down that stable path, or do you think that there's still an avenue? Because I mean, courses like mass communications and communications and media management, which is the course that I took, has already changed since I took it.
It's changed,
right? So do you think that there's going to be more of a demand to go down that stable route, or do you think we are still on that path of innovation and following passion?
We've changed. The course that you took has changed, and they're still in the pipeline, but we're going a lot more digital, data analytics, data content management, that kind of. But as a whole, Temasek Poly also has other new courses. They have artificial intelligence coming up, and there is architectural studies. There is architectural technology diploma, which will be launched in April 2021, so next year.
That sounds really fascinating.
Yeah, it's up and coming. So they're always like forward-looking, and they predict what the industry would need, and they want to cater to the industry by preparing graduates for those specific skills. Having said that, though, I think the students are also, because they take other subjects as well, which are soft skills, communication skills, which are actually essential.
Yes.
Yeah, which are really,
they are essential.
They are really essential, especially in these times. Communication is the key. I mean, if you look at the way we've handled this as a country, communication was so important in getting people to do what they needed to do. So those are the skills as well, which I think TP prepares them for.
Interesting. Yeah. Now, Steve, just to wrap up this conversation then, advice to other parents from your position of someone who has gone and studied what you needed to study, but then has gone on to an alternative job.
Well, you kind of find, as long as you can still stay interested and engaged in what it is you're doing, I think you're always going to be okay. You'll always do better in things that you're interested in, of course. But you know, life is a long time. It's not a race to get through school. It's not a race to get through university. It's not a race to, to get to be working. It's just pick up the skills as you go along. But just remember that things generally can turn out okay if you have the right mindset and how you're approaching it. So if you're open to learn the lessons and to have the humility of taking a job that you don't like, doing a job that you're not qualified to do, but just because you need to do it because you need to earn money. Like, think of the long game. Just, I need to do this now. It may not be what I want to do, but in the long term, it's going to lay foundations or stepping stones for me to get, further up the ladder or further up the chain. But you've got to keep in mind that life is tough. Life is not easy. We're learning that.
And it's unpredictable.
And it's unpredictable.
Yeah.
So if you can approach it, take a moment, take it slow, think, what do I need to do? What's in the short term? And what's in the medium term and long term, and don't
Don't stress it.
Don't
Okay,
stress it.
Felicia, you stress the importance of communication, though. So we're going to play a little bit of a game. And Felicia, because you were the one that said it was important to communicate properly, I'm going to leave you to lead this game. We're going to do our version of heads up. So I'll give you a word, and Steve, you have to guess it, but you have to describe this word without mentioning what the word is.
All right.
Okay. So we're going to give you 60 seconds. It is a word. The theme is occupations. Essential
that helps.
and non-essential.
Okay, that helps.
We're going to give you 60 seconds to get through as many as you can. These are the words. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Time starts now.
Okay, in the court.
Judge, lawyer,
There we go. First one, lawyer.
Oh, I can pirouette.
ballet,
Very good.
dancer,
Oh, sick animals.
vet,
Very good.
Training people. Training
Consultant.
people in an organization, taking care of their leave matters.
oh, HR manager,
Very good.
On the set, this person
Director.
would,
Oh, wow, he is on fire.
you can musical instrument.
Conductor.
I can manage to make sound from an
Musician.
instrument.
Yes, there we go.
that one was really obvious. Go on, keep going.
Console.
Come on, you got about 5 seconds left.
Talking to people,
Telemaster.
airwaves.
DJ, radio DJ.
Yeah.
There we go. And time. Whew. How many did we get through? 12? 7. 7 in total.
Is that good? I don't know what's the gauge.
That is good. That is good. I think we've played this game and we've had not very many people getting it very well. So there you go. Communication.
He was
still
great.
a very
Wow.
essential
great.
role. Guys,
Credit
thank
to
you
Felicia.
so much for chatting, Felicia,
Most welcome.
Steve.
Fun.
Really good insight. Steve, we're going to keep you around a little while longer because we're going to go for a short break and come back. It's Olympic Day tomorrow, so we figured we'd have an Olympic-themed workout. Steve's going to be leading us through that. Felicia, thank you so much for
most
joining
welcome.
us.
It was
We're off
fun.
for a short break. Oh, stay with us here on Kickback with Kelly and Barbara.
Step right up, draw the next card. You're one of the brighter animals, so get along with everybody else. Is the ship
Kickback with Kelly and Barbara. I'm back again. Steve is still with us. Tomorrow is Olympic Day, which means we're going to be doing some Olympic-inspired movements.
What is that?
I'm an athlete doing Olympic stuff.
Okay,
Interpretive dance. You should, what's your score, Kelly? What's your score?
There's a big fat 0.
I'll give you an 8 for effort.
So, Steve, you're going to bring us through a workout. We're going to have 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off for 4 rounds, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
And all of them are inspired by Olympic sports.
Awesome.
Yep.
So, the first one is?
The first one is high knees because, running is one of the essential events. So let's get to it.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, we're going straight in.
Yep, we're going straight into this. It's just
Everyone
like
like
packs everywhere.
Did you catch yours? I got mine. I'll just hold it in my hand.
I'm just like,
Okay.
just keeping it in. Just tucking my
15
shirt
seconds in.
Oh, we've already got like another 20 seconds to go.
Yeah, come on, guys. We're doing okay.
My mic pack. Barbara seems really enthusiastic about this one today. This is like the first exercise.
Maybe we should go a bit longer.
No.
Okay, 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we'll take a 20-second break. And then for the next exercise, I thought we would pay tribute to former Singapore Olympian, Tan Hao Liang, weightlifter. So we're going to do...
No weights, though.
No weights.
No weights.
But we'll do some sort of squats, deep squats, and have hands up.
Deep
like
squats and over and above. Are we ready?
Right.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Who was that?
All the hips cracking, that'd be me.
Yeah, I thought that was you, Kelly. Okay. So see if you can get below the 90 degrees with your knees. Deep squats. That's it. Oh, check out the guns, Kelly. Looking good.
Yeah.
20 seconds, halfway there.
Are you regretting overexerting on what? I don't know what you're talking about.
10 seconds.
Come on, Barbara.
Yeah, this is a good workout to do at home. I mean, it's all just body weights. Don't need much space. Just keep up the tempo. And we are done.
That's time.
Okay.
Okay. That's that one done. What's the next exercise, Steve?
Okay, so that one paid tribute to Tan Hao Liang, Olympic lifter for Singapore. Next, we'll do one in honor of our gold medalist, Joseph Schooling, with swimming. So we're going to get down in a...
Full of water?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah, we got budget here. We got budget now. Just kidding. Down into a plank position, and we'll just start. We can start now.
Yep.
This is good for shoulders.
Do you want to keep your hips down, or can you do the rotation?
It's up to you. You can even make it a bit more difficult for yourself if you want, and do a push-up in between.
Oh, look at you go. Hey-ya!
If you're feeling a little energetic at home, we're halfway through.
Do the butterfly one. Come on.
Yeah, so this is a freestyle stroke, if you notice. And Joseph Schooling is famous for his butterfly.
Okay, I'm going to try and attempt the butterfly
Are
one,
we
but I'm
done?
going to do it on my knees. Are you ready?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Oh, Joseph would be so proud. Okay,
my
3
goodness me.
seconds, 2 and 1. And we've got 20 seconds to rest. And we can just stay down here on the floor because our next one's going to be on the floor as well.
Nice. Okay, what's the next one going to be?
Good squat there by Kelly.
Thanks.
Yeah, so next one's going to be,
I love how we've defaulted to just sitting
rowing.
down.
we'll do like a rowing themed one.
Ooh.
So we can go into a lower boat pose if you know your yoga. And then,
Here we go. Rowing like Aisha, who was one of our national rowers before she retired.
Nice long strokes. Anyone gonna sing?
This is like a Russian twist almost, isn't it?
it certainly is. I mean, that's kind of the idea of it. We've done arms, we've done legs, we've done a bit of cardio.
Yep.
So finish off with a bit of core.
Nice. Yeah, and I guess if you are at home and you are trying to attempt these workouts as well, then it's a great way for you to just get off your couch and stop just watching the telly, stop Netflixing, and just do something active.
Time.
I love how Barbara's the first to call that one on time.
Oh, the enthusiasm to keep track of that stopwatch was incredible.
Well, thank you very much for that. We definitely got activated, I think.
And just in time for Olympic Day as well. That will be tomorrow. There will be a special Olympic Day workout happening at 11 o'clock. If you want to know more, you can always hop onto my page. I'll be doing the Olympic workout at 11 a.m. Exciting times ahead. Steve, thank you so much for joining us, sharing your wisdom, your insight, and a bit of advice for passion versus stability. But Wednesday, who have we got, Barbara?
We've got Dr. Rico from Sports SG. He's going to be coming in talking a little bit about how your diet affects how you sleep. And we're also going to be having Marissa True on, someone who has suffered from insomnia, fixed it, and now can't sleep again. So we're hoping we can help her on Wednesday as well.
Well, that's it from us today. Make sure you join us again Wednesday, 8 p.m. on Kickback with Kelly and Barbara.